because I mean, you kind of have to. You, if I mean, you kind of have to unless you're just sitting on a bunch of, some bank. You have to.
Right. Right. Now, what about the people who are saying they can't afford to keep running?
Some of them going to lose out.
Mhm.
A lot of the people that came in, I think a lot of people that came in knew because like a few months back, it was all they were talking about. I saw the way they were doing it. They said, "Oh, it's a driver shortage." Well, I'm out there and I'm like, I I see a lot of trucks every time I try to park. You can't hardly park, so I don't know what they're talking about, you
Mhm.
know. And then this driver shortage. Then it was like, I see all these, I see all these videos and people talking about how much money I'm making in trucking and then how much I can make in a box truck and how much I can make with this. That like they're making all these big profits. And then you looked at the prices of the equipment, it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous. Like what was say a year and a half ago, just say for example, a piece of a truck that was $80,000,
Mhm.
it's now 140, you
Mhm.
know, the
Mhm.
same truck. And I mean, you could go and try to buy a truck. It's 2022 and you can try to buy a 2019 and a 2020 cost what a new truck should cost, a brand new truck.
Mhm.
So I mean, a lot of people and a lot of people are financing it and gambling that stuff. So a lot of people gonna lose. And then after after the crash and the regroup, it's gonna be like Dave said that there's gonna be a market there that you're gonna be able to get stuff for pennies on a dollar, I believe.
Mhm.
It sounds like this is similar to the housing market, Russell, where, there was a lot of hype about, get a house and the prices are going up. And then
Exactly.
in and I see a lot of these guys, it seems like they're over leveraged.
Exactly.
They're
That's
they're
exactly what
probably
I
going to
see
end up
happening.
losing their trucks.
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna end up giving them back. Yep, exactly that. Just like that. I guess I'm guessing that the housing market's going to go through that too. I don't know if it's going to be the same as '08, but because
Season.
where I'm at, I didn't really realize that Tampa area is like one of the hottest markets, but the prices are still up, way up. They're buying houses. Um, Investors are buying houses, and if they flipping them, they're flipping them for over like the house could be on the market for $300,000 and they're offered for $300,000 for sale and they're still selling them for 340, you know,
Oh, wow.
because yeah, people are, they're leaving, especially up where you're at, DMC. They're leaving up there and coming down here
Yeah. Yeah.
because, because they can, I don't know, get out of their condo and buy a whole house and still have money left over.
Right.
I'm wondering at some point, will we see a shift and it'll go the opposite way where people will be leaving the South and coming back north?
It's
Mm.
possible. I tell you one thing, what's going on too, by these people coming down here to, I guess, take advantage of the price and I guess the taxes and whatever. Um, the insurance, the homeowners insurance has went up from last year. It's went up at least 20%, at least 20%. So I'm expecting that. I don't know. I'm expecting to see what happens with the taxes.
Wow. Okay, well, we have two presentations today on helping prepare. This is preparedness for plant-based medicine and preparedness for us to continue on and growing our own food, whatever strategy you take. If you're going to take fertilizer, fertilizer prices are up, but Misty will be on after Marilyn presents on how we can start growing our own food through water with the Tower Garden and just making sure we have a community that we're sharing what each one is doing, so that we can help our families. Because one of the things that I was sharing with Marilyn, there's a lot of us that still can't see what's happening, and it's not going to be pretty. So I'm going to go on mute. Marilyn's going to share the apothecary with the essential oils and how it can help us as far as medicinal purposes. So Marilyn.
Hey, I got a question. How do I get on mute on this?
You should be able to hover over and see a mute button at the bottom of your screen. Mine is at the bottom, but if you hover over your picture.
I just muted you.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm going on mute too.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight. My name is Marilyn, and I'm going to reduce this here. I have been using essential oils for about 9 years. I've been using it as my plant-based medicine during that time. It took me a few years to get to the point where I am now, but it really is what is in my medicine cabinet. So the essential oils that we're going to speak about tonight are medicinal quality essential oils. These are meant to work at the cellular level in your body. They are therapeutic grade, meaning that they really do interact with the body in a way that the body receives it and knows what to do with it. So you really can use it as medicine, and I like to call it plant-based healthcare. It's safe, it is very effective, and it can really cover, I'd say, about 80% of what comes up in the home, all of those little things that happen throughout the day, throughout the week. These little potions can really take care of that. And what I love about the essential oils is that because they are completely pure and natural, there's no synthetics to really cause any harm or any kind of side effects in your body. So when you take these, it's like, just doing your body good, if you will. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the different ways that you can use it. And literally, there really isn't anything that you can't use them for. It's basically God's medicine. And Danielle, please jump in if there's anything that you want to add, and Jamila too. Danielle and Jamila are a wealth of knowledge with the essential oils as well. They've been using them and know how effective that they are as well.
Marilyn, I'll jump in really quick and just speak to just doTERRA, because one may be asking, why doTERRA? Why not just an essential oil? And so me learning of doTERRA 2 years ago has afforded me the opportunity to be able to use these CPTG oils, which stands for Certified Pure Tested Grade. And I can tell you all that I can really tell the difference. I have a salon, and one day someone actually put a different essential oil from a different company in one of my diffusers. And when I came into work, my eyes literally started getting foggy. They started tearing. My throat just felt like it was caving in. And I was trying to figure out what was going on. And I was led to go to that diffuser. And I asked the question because there was a little bottle that I didn't recognize. And when we had the conversation as a team, we just now know that is a complete no-no. We don't substitute. We just don't run the humidifier or diffuser if we don't know, which oils are available. So these oils are very, very potent. They're very, very pure. And that is the standalone difference when it comes to other oils that you would get from, let's say, Walmart or Walgreens. Usually they're going to have about 70% or so of the oil and then about 30% of something else. And I'll tell you that 30% of something else really, really had my body conflicted with a reaction. So as you're listening through the presentation, just realize that these oils are super, super potent, and they're extremely pure.
Thank you, Jamila.
Sandra said that happened to her. Wait a minute. That happened to me. I had headaches from different oil brands. Bought Grim, the health food store. Yeah, it's just very important to know. Very important.
So Jamila, does anybody in your family use them for mental clarity, for calming, for overwhelm?
Absolutely. I would definitely say me first. And I remember being asked that question and kind of shying away from it, honestly, before the pandemic, because it sounds like you have some type of mental disorder, right? Like focus, like I don't want to feel like I'm not focused. But being in touch with that and understanding that mental fortitude is so vitally important these days, I'm the first person to raise my hand, and my go-to is adaptive and lemongrass because they raise the neurotransmitters in your body. And so even in the salon, diffusing lemongrass is people immediately when they come in, you can just see the difference, in how they are. So definitely my entire family, each one of us at different stages during this 2-year mark. I think we've all hit a valley low at some point, and we needed to all be reeled back in. And adaptive, serenity, lemongrass were some of the top oils that we, are using even until now, besides frankincense, which I know you'll talk a lot about that.
Lemongrass, that's interesting. I wouldn't have thought lemongrass. Interesting. That's really good to hear. So yeah, the essential oils are really, really effective for helping whenever you're feeling a certain kind of way. If you need a mood shift, if you're feeling like you're unable to cope, children who are on the spectrum, people who have difficulty staying focused, studying, working, students, any type of situation like that where you're just having a hard time, oh, hang on, staying on task. Lavender, frankincense, and breathe are highlighted here. Now, lavender, pretty much everybody knows about. It's that calming, soothing, relaxing oil. You can put a drop on your palms, inhale it deeply, exhale through the mouth. And I know it sounds crazy that you can really feel something from just breathing something in, but it really is the fastest way for the molecules to get into the brain. It shifts the limbic system, talks to your body and tells it what to do. And it's not that unsimilar from when you go to, let's say you go to the dentist and you have to have something done and they put a mask over you and you're inhaling synthetic compounds that put you out. If you have to get, a tooth pulled or something, it's the same concept, except that at the dentist's office, you're inhaling synthetic compounds and you're, those compounds are talking to the limbic system, telling the brain to shut down because something uncomfortable is going to happen. Well, the essential oils work in the same way. They go up through the olfactory nerve in the nose, talks to the limbic system, and tells the body to shift in the mood. And it's very, very effective. It gets into the system within 30 seconds. And it's a very effective way for you to just come down from that place of overwhelm, that place of excitability, that place of, I just need to just get back to the ground, if you will. So lavender is great for that. It's also great for helping you just get ready for sleep. I like to put a few drops on my pillow at night. That's how I like to use it, because as I'm laying down, I'm breathing it right in. My husband likes it in the diffuser. He doesn't like it on the pillow. He thinks it's too strong for him. For me, the diffuser is not strong enough. So you're going to find that it's very individual. It's very different. You're going to play around and figure out what works for you. You could also put it on the bottom of your feet, on your temples, on the inside of your wrists. This is called topical application, and that can be very effective as well. Breathe, which is the respiratory blend, interestingly enough, is very, very effective for helping with mood shifts because it oxygenates the lungs and opens up the airways. And one of the indicators of you really being in a place of that you want to get out of is that you tighten up, you stop breathing literally, and you just kind of freeze up. And when you open up this bottle and inhale it, it just, the physical function of your lungs opening up and filling up with oxygen then leads to the emotion of just relaxing and being able to get centered again. And then frankincense is the king of oils. It is absolutely my top oil, one of the top oils that I use on a regular basis. We have it in over 95% of our recipes because it's that kind of an oil. You can use it for so many different things. But I do know someone who likes to use it under her tongue. She'll take a drop and put it under her tongue, and it helps her with her anxiety. And she used to take medication for anxiety, and the frankincense and copaiba under the tongue really helped to bring her to that place where she needed to be in order to just get on with the day. She has a high pulse job as a realtor, which is a very stressful occupation. And without the frankincense, she'd have a hard time getting through the day. So these are just 3 examples of oils that are very helpful to help you stay calm and relaxed. There's so many others, but we're just going to go over the basics.
Marilyn.
Yes.
Yep, I just want to interject really quickly. These 3 oils are amazing. And so along with, because I know we may have some people that are taking notes, did anyone on this Zoom know that lavender would be your go-to oil if you had a burn?
Yeah, right.
So we're talking about stockpiling. We're talking about apothecary. We're talking about replacing your medicine cabinet. We're talking about being able to reach for something from the earth that is going to help you to be able to maintain during these times that, you know, none of us really know what we're in for. But to be able to have something like this, there was an old team member who was in a grease fire and actually used lavender on her skin. And I have seen her up close and personal. You cannot tell where those burns were. So lavender, hands down, while it is calming, it is excellent for burns. But then when you think about the emotions, this is going to help to promote consciousness. It's going to promote love, joy, and peace. And so when we're thinking about, you know, everything being in disarray, we have a lot of decisions that we need to make. You know, things, we're going to need to be very fast thinkers. And so we're going to need to make sure that our mind is in a place of solitude, a place of being resolute in order to do that. And lavender is definitely going to be one of your go-tos. Breathe is going to be with the property of opening up the airways. This oil can also be used for people who have issues with snoring. And I can certainly attest to it because my husband will have nights like that where he just, for whatever reason, he can't help it. And Breathe is definitely that oil that helps to quiet the room and help us to get back to some very rhythmic rest. And when we think about frankincense, it's just, when they say it's the king of all oils, like Marilyn, it is my favorite oil as well. Spiritually, this is going to be the oil that's going to help you to value truth and represent completeness. You know, we're going to do a lot of second guessing ourselves, wondering if should we go right or should we go left. This is going to be an oil that you're really going to want to use internally, topically, you know, aromatically. You're going to want to keep this particular essential oil around. And this frankincense actually diffuses well with most other essential oils. So, you know, you're going to get this dual effect. So I just wanted to add that as just other uses for these essential oils for those that are taking notes.
Thank you. That is amazing, Jamila. And it's like you brought so many things to mind. I take frankincense every day under my tongue for memory issues. My house struggles with brain things, you know, my kids with focus and attention, and my husband as well. And so this is our centering oil. This is the oil that helps the brain to function better. And talking about burns, I had a burn a few summers ago, and lavender, along with a few other oils, was right there at my side. And I keep it in the kitchen because I'm always burning myself. I'm not the best cook. So I'm always doing something messy in the kitchen. And that lavender is always in the kitchen because the minute I get a burn on my finger, the lavender goes on and it takes care of it great. So thank you for that. Okay, so essential oils are also very, very effective for pain. And so my husband, he has lower back pain, he has knee pain, he used to play ball when he was in school. And so he still has the rendering side effects of when he got injured a few times. And so we're constantly rubbing oils on down the back and on his knees. And these oils right here are really effective. And what we typically tend to do is we'll make something called a roller bottle. And what that is it's just a concoction where you put drops of the essential oil in it, and then you top it off with a carrier oil like coconut oil. And then you just roll that anywhere on your body topically that you need that extra support. So you can roll it on your neck, on your shoulder, on your hands, on your knees, anywhere that you're feeling that extra support. And then we have the deep blue lotion, which is the natural version of like an icy hot, if you will. And that really gives you a tingly feeling, and you can just feel the sensation as it's working in your body. It's really good for Charlie horses also, that pain that you get when you're not hydrated enough. But the combination of these oils are really effective in helping to support your body and any kind of pain that you might be going through. Jamila, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, just probably one of my top testimonies about Deep Blue started with my husband, who was in a car accident. Just literally just sitting at a red light, waiting for the light to turn green. And a car going about 40 miles an hour hit him straight from the back and knocked him through the light. And my husband has a lot of neck and spinal issues because of it, did not want to do the route of surgery. And so we were introduced to the essential oils, obviously years later, but that has been his saving grace in terms of improving his quality of life. It has improved his walk. And these essential oils are not just standalone, everything gets better once you use them. With pain, always remember that there's high levels of acidity somewhere in the body that is causing that inflammation to flare up. And so I always say that this is when the body is shouting. We've ignored the whispers. We've ignored the talks. And now when it gets to that pain point, now the body is actually shouting. And so with Deep Blue, the rub, oregano is just going to be one of those oils. It's a very hot oil, but between the oregano and the peppermint, those oils are going to be responsible for blood flow. And so with pain, the blood is not circulating to that area. And these oils do a very good job of being able to do that. And lavender, obviously, for calming, and the frankincense to be able to add that layer of oxygen to be able to, for those oils to be able to free flow. So this particular pain concoction was one of the ones that we started off using for my husband. And as I said, to this day, he uses it faithfully every single day. But he definitely had to make some lifestyle changes, some nutritional changes. And that is very, very important when you're dealing with the body. We want to deal with the body as a whole. And there's no better time to get this information is when you don't need it, right? When we're in crisis, it's going to be hard to talk to somebody about, alkaline versus acidity. It's going to be very hard to talk to them about inflammation and, drinking more water and those type of things. So these are things, again, that you're going to want to keep into your medicine cabinet and make sure that you have them, because when pain hits, we've all been there. You cannot hide that pain. It literally will put a scowl on your face. And, when we're dealing with people who, let's talk about, serious medical conditions. Frankincense has been that oil that my mother-in-law has been using faithfully with her breast cancer diagnosis. These oils are not just for your common things that may come up. These are heavy hitter oils that are responsible for really, really being able to turn the body to a place of homeostasis, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
In addition to that, you can also use these for growing pains for kids, as well as for working out. Anyone who works out, this is a great remedy to use just for those achy muscles, really yoga, running, whatever it is that you do. It's just very effective for that as well. Okay. This is probably what we use it the most for in my house. Well, we use it for everything, but for sure, this is where I was the most impressed when it came down to not feeling well. And, you know, I use these oils nonstop from the minute I get up to the minute I go to bed. But when I'm sick, that's when I really pull them out. And I cannot tell you how many times I have felt a scratchy throat come on, and I'll reach over and I'll grab my bottle of On Guard and I'll put it on my throat, and I'll keep repeating that process for 20 minutes until that scratchy throat feeling goes away. And it has saved me from getting into anything worse, just that one bottle of On Guard. Now, for those occasions when we do get sick, Peter and I got sick this winter. We caught the flu right around Christmas and New Year's, and it wasn't COVID, but it was definitely the flu. And I think it probably lasted for me 4 days, which is really crazy because I remember back in the day, it used to take me 2 weeks to get over the flu, getting everything from CVS and taking all the meds. But starting with the oils, making sure that they're being massaged topically on the chest and along the spine, the bottom of the feet. What you have to remember is that you do have to reapply more frequently. You have to just make sure that the body continues to get it. So every 2 hours is a good time frame to reapply. But also putting them in my water and in my tea, because I do take them internally, and then they're being diffused all day long so that you're inhaling it at the same time. Of course, chicken soup, Jamaican rum in our tea, you know, all of that goes hand in hand with it too. Just like Jamila said, it's not just the oils, it's everything else that you're putting in your body and surrounding yourself with as well. But these were really, really super helpful. And I just couldn't believe how quickly they helped to restore my body. Of course, we were taking zinc and vitamin C as well, really stocking up and doubling up the body with those nutrients, and just amazing. The Breathe oil is great for coughing, for sneezing, for any kind of respiratory issues that you might be having. The Melaleuca, which is the same thing as tea tree, is great for infections. Lemon helps to detox the body. So adding that to your water and to your tea just helps to flush out whatever it is that your body needs to get rid of. Oregano is a natural antibiotic. And so oregano is very, very powerful. That's a hot oil, meaning you don't want to put it directly on the skin without a carrier oil. But typically I'll put that with a carrier oil over the chest along with the other oils, and I'll put it in a gel cap internally. So you can make your own concoctions with these oils. You get an empty gel cap and you'll just put in 2 or 3 drops of whatever oils you need and take that with water. So that's what I do with oregano when I'm not feeling well. And then frankincense goes in the diffuser and in my water and in my tea as well. But absolutely amazing how well these oils work for just helping to restore your body and helping to boost the immune system. Jamila?
I love this selection. Not feeling well. I'll tell you, something bit me the other night, and I jumped up immediately, and I reached for some tea tree, and I just kept rubbing it. I kept rubbing it. And so I think sometimes when we're sharing about these oils and we just say, you know, tea tree, you know, helps with infections, we really need to drive the point home that this really is a first aid oil. Like, this is a frontline oil. And as I'm looking it up, I just kind of want to repeat a little bit of the properties of tea tree. And to those of us that are on Zoom, like, feel free to chime in, you know, because if there are questions as we're going through this presentation, I mean, we would love to just kind of incorporate those answers for you. But tea tree is antibacterial, it's antifungal, anti-infections, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-parasitic, that is so huge, antiviral, it's a decongestant, digestive issues, immune stimulant, insecticidal, It's a neurotonic, a stimulant, and it helps to regenerate the tissues. So again, when we're thinking about living during a crisis and being able to reach for something that is going to answer about 10 different things in one bottle, tea tree is definitely, hands down, it's going to be something that we want to stockpile. Absolutely.
Thank you. So digestive issues, this is really, really huge right now. There's so many people who struggle with their gut. And really the gut is what houses the majority of your immune system. And if you don't have a healthy gut, you just are not healthy. It's really important to pay attention to what you eat and making sure that you're giving yourself, your body, things that are going to restore the digestive tract as opposed to harm it. So we have some amazing oils that are incredibly effective. DigestZen is really an amazing blend of oils that just help with constipation, with acid reflux, with just any kind of cramping or stomach issues, with heartburn. And it's just, and what I think is really crazy is that when I was first introduced to the DigestZen oil, when I was told that all I had to do was take it and rub it over my stomach where it hurts, I looked at the person like they were crazy. Like, what do you mean? All I do is put it on my stomach and that's going to do something? Like, that just sounded nuts to me. But I did it. I took it and I put it over my stomach, and what I had going on was maybe at a 9 and it brought it down to a 6, and I don't like to be in pain. So I waited 5 minutes and then I did it again. And then it went down to like a 3. And I waited another 5 minutes and I did it again. And then it went down to a 0. So sometimes you have to reapply multiple times in order for it to get the job done, but that's okay. You don't want to douse yourself with the oils. All you need is 1 to 2 drops at a time. A little bit goes a long way. It's just important to repeat the process if you feel like you're not getting the full effect that you're looking for. But DigestZen, bar none, is absolutely incredible for anything digestive. And you can even add it to a warm cup of water and turn it into a tea. Doesn't taste bad at all, actually. It's pretty good. But I love DigestZen. And some people do well with peppermint. Peppermint is amazing for anything digestive, as well as for any kind of head tension. It's just a very soothing, calming oil. Frankincense, there it is again. Frankincense, there's really not much that frankincense doesn't cover. And then lemon, of course, because it's a natural detoxifier. So that's what you want going on in the digestive issue. Anything here, Jamila, to share? I can keep going.
Well, I've learned this from Danielle over and over again. I think she drilled it into us that the mind, when we're stressed, is going to affect the digestive system. And so there's not too many people who have issues with stress that don't automatically have issues digestively. So this is, again, when you think about DigestZen, sometimes we think of just motion sickness or nausea or constipation. But what about things like candida? When we go to the doctors, words like that, they tell you sometimes are very hard to deal with. And DigestZen has been one of those essential oils, hands down, as a go-to for those type of issues, and not having to take an antibiotic, which is going to wreak havoc on your internal organs. So that's just another property for the DigestZen.
Thank you. So this is an area that most people don't realize that you're able to do with essential oils as well, and that's using it for your homemade cleaning products. So when I first learned that a lot of what I was bringing into my house was really causing a lot of the brain issues that we were experiencing, because those toxins that you're inhaling whenever you're spraying Windex or Fantastic, or using any of those really harsh chemical cleaners in your home where they tell you to wear a gas mask and open up the windows and ventilate, anything like that that you have in your house, you need to get rid of it yesterday. There's no need to use such harsh chemicals in order to clean your house. Now, I was a big skeptic when it came to this, and I was like, how is this going to even compare to what I'm using right now, especially with my Clorox and the cleaning that I do? But there's absolutely nothing that these oils cannot eradicate. They're meant to eradicate pathogens and bacteria. And so they're very, very effective at cleaning. So we've got so many recipes. There's nothing that you cannot make. Anything that you get at the store, there's a recipe for it, and we have it. I mean, we've gone through it all. So at this point, I pretty much make the majority of what I have in my home. And not only do I use these oils for cleaning, but I also use them for personal care products. So for example, you can use them to make, deodorant, lotions, hair serums. I mean, you name it, tonics or toners for the face, bug spray, after sun spray. There's nothing that you cannot use these oils for. And I just love the versatility of them and being able to reduce the toxic load. So we have an incredible heavy load that our bodies are taking on a daily basis. And while we have no control over what we're inhaling and what we're exposed to when we leave our front door, we do have control over what we bring into the home. So whatever you're bringing inside, anything that has the ingredient fragrance on it is hiding up to 300 unknown and untested chemicals. So everything, just about everything, has fragrance in it. We're talking body sprays, perfumes, hair shampoos, conditioners, toothpaste, all the cleaning products, everything, your laundry detergent has fragrance in it. And you are just bombarding your body with all of these different chemicals that are wreaking havoc. And then we wonder why we're having trouble sleeping or thinking or breathing properly. It's the abundance of chemicals that we're exposing ourselves to. So when you start eliminating that toxic load little by little and replacing it with natural, cleaner products, you're going to start feeling better. I guarantee it, because I felt it and my kids felt it. And it was like a much cleaner, just better home to be in, an environment. So I love that you can use these oils for so many other things other than just for medicinal qualities. And DIYing, some people like it, some people don't. I love it, but if you don't, there's plenty of things that you can use that are cleaner than what you typically get in the marketplace. Jamila, do you use anything for cleaning?
I love my On Guard concentrate. I love the Adobe line, but On Guard concentrate is hands down my absolute favorite.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, one easy tip that everyone can do is to just replace their fabric softener with white vinegar. Fabric softener is just full of fragrances and toxins, and you're inhaling it 24 hours a day because your clothes are slathered in it. So if anyone uses fabric softener, replace it with white vinegar. You're not going to smell the vinegar, but you're going to reduce a huge amount of toxins in your home. Okay, so we're just going to go into the nitty gritty a little bit about essential oils and why they work the way that they do. So doTERRA's oils are 100% safe and natural. There's nothing added and nothing taken away from the bottle. It's safe for babies, toddlers, adults, the elderly, and even for your pets, believe it or not. They are extracted from plants that have incredible health benefits, and the oils are 50 to 70 times more powerful than their plant and their herb counterparts. So that's why we say a little bit goes a long way. And as Jamila was saying earlier, CPTG stands for Certified Pure Tested Grade. That's a certification that doTERRA came up with because there's really no regulation in the essential oil industry. Any company out there, their minimum is 10% pure essential oil, and then they can fill that bottle up with whatever else they want. However, they're allowed to say that it's 100% pure natural on the outside of the label. So as a consumer, you really need to do your research. Is the company that you're getting your oils from transparent? Are they sharing their sourcing model? And what exactly is in that bottle? But with doTERRA, they do the most amount of testing of any company out there. They do about 58 different levels of testing. Then when that oil is bottled, they send it out to a third-party lab to get tested again. And the bottom of every oil has a lot number that you can punch into the website to get a copy of the GCMS test that shows that it's free of contaminants, chemicals, synthetics, pesticides, herbicides. So you're sure that there's nothing but 100% pure essential oil, that's so much so that you're able to ingest it. They're oftentimes more effective than modern approaches to healthcare. When you go to the doctor with a bacterial infection, they'll oftentimes send you home with an antibiotic. And while that antibiotic works, the thing is that it doesn't know the difference between good and bad bacteria. So not only will it get rid of the bad bacteria in your body, but it will also get rid of the good bacteria. And sometimes that good bacteria can take 5 to 7 years to come back. So you're really doing your body disservice when you're taking antibiotics. Essential oils, because they are fatty and they're oil-based, they're able to get into where that virus lives and where the bacteria is on the outside of the cell, and they're able to eradicate the bacteria. I jumped ahead a little bit. When you go to the doctor and you have a viral infection, they'll send you home. They'll tell you to just, take lots of liquids, rest, let the body play it out. There's really not much that they can do for viral infections. And that's because most modern medications are water soluble, and the med doesn't penetrate the oily membrane that's around that cell. That's where essential oils come in, and they're able to penetrate that oily membrane, get into where that virus is, and prevent it from duplicating. And that's why every time I put that essential oil on my throat and it gets rid of whatever's trying to attack me, I'm like, even still, I'm amazed every single time. It works super, super effectively. So that's why we say essential oils are oftentimes more effective than modern approaches to healthcare. And then they're super affordable. So they're definitely more affordable than traditional healthcare. They're pennies per dose. You save hundreds of dollars a year in medical costs. Once I started using the oils, my doctor visits reduced by, no kidding, I'm not kidding you, about 95%. I just didn't need to go as often as I was going before, because as things popped up in the home, I just went to my box of oils. My oldest son used to get pink eye all the time, and we're constantly at the doctor's office like every other month, and he was on antibiotics more than I wanted him to be. When we were new to the oils, I thought, oh my gosh, I wonder if this will work for him. So we did the tea tree. Tea tree helps with pink eye. So we put it on his reflexology points on his hands and his feet, because you can't put oils in your eyes. And the next day he got up and he didn't have any pink eye. And that really blew my mind. And that's when I really started going to the box of oils first before doing anything else. And so I was able to change the insurance at my job and increase the deductible. And so I had more in my paycheck. So when I tell you that we saved a lot of money, we really did. And just being able to get what you need, whether it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning, when you need it, that's powerful. I really felt like a healer in my home, and I felt empowered as a mom. And that just, there's nothing that can really duplicate that I was just such an amazing feeling to be able to help your family in that way. Hey, Danielle, I'd like you to speak on this piece.
Hello, everyone. So I really quickly want to just share, I asked Marilyn to put together something that we could relate to as far as stockpiling. And we all know David shared with us going on 2 years ago, the importance of stockpiling because of the buying power of our cash going away. And although we are in it now, and our gas prices are up now, food prices are up now, I just want to stress that we still have cash to use, and as much as possible to, again, start stockpiling as much as we can with a quality brand essential oil, having the medicine cabinet. I have been making sure that I have my bare essential, when I say bare essential oils, which are the ones that Marilyn went over. Of course, there's a lot more. But my goal was to make sure I have a minimum of 12 minimum, preferably 24 of the basic oils. So yes, we are in the hyperinflation now. Our buying power would be a little bit less than had we started sooner. But we still have cash to use to convert over to having something healthy as far as when our family's in pain, helping the respiratory system, helping the digestive system, and helping our mental health, especially our mental health. So that's all I want to add to that.
Thank you. So if anybody is interested in getting their own starter kit, we call them starter kits. We have 10, but we're just highlighting the 2 basic ones because this is used to be called the physician's medicine cabinet kit. They've since changed the title because they really can't say that anymore. But these are the 10 basic oils that we recommend that you get started if you want to lay a foundation for transitioning your medicine chest. The difference between the two kits are the size of the bottle. So you've got the small bottle and the big bottle. So the small bottle is 5 ml. The big bottle is 3 times the size, 15 ml, but they're the exact same 10 oils. So these 10 oils are the same ones that I started with 9 years ago. And these are the oils that'll cover 80% of what comes up in the home. So they're great for, colds and flu, for skin issues, for sleep, just all of those things that come up. And they both come with a diffuser. And doTERRA has a promo this month that if you get started with the big bottle kit, there's an additional 3 extra oils that they will add to your order. That's just a promo that they have. Every so often there's an extra promo. So
Marilyn,
yes.
I do have a question for those who are in the process of stockpiling, because if I'm not mistaken, did they change? Because you can only get the kit as a one-time sign up, right? Like I can't do the kit every month if I want to stockpile, or did they change that?
I think you can. I'd have to look into that, but I think you might be able to. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to point that out because I had a person that could not get the kit after sign up.
It might look a little bit different, but okay, so maybe that's possible. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look.
Yes, I want to make sure they're able to stockpile. Unless that's changed, the starter kits are
Okay,
not
yeah,
available.
it's possible. It's possible. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. So this is what we recommend for anybody wanting to get started with their apothecary. And then just know that we're here to help. So when it comes to essential oils, it's new, it's foreign, it's not something that you're used to doing. And so we're here to guide you through it. We will sit down and help you figure out what to do with the oils. We set up a protocol with you based on what your needs are for your family, if that's something that you want to do. But there's plenty of resources and information available. And we don't just, have you get the oils and then you never hear from us again. We're here to support and to help you with your journey and for you to use them as needed in your home for you and your family. So if there are any questions. Oh, I didn't even check the chat.
Well, while she's checking the chat, JT, what was the symptom that you had, JT?
Say it again.
What was the symptom that you shared earlier?
Oh, what's about hair growth?
Say it one more time.
Hair growth, like nail kind of bones.
The background noise, I can't make it out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not know what I'm doing. Nail kind of bones, hair growth.
Marilyn, can you make out what he's saying?
No.
Oh, hold on. Let me get right here. Hold on 1 second. Can y'all hear me now?
That's better.
Yeah, what was the symptom?
I can't even know that.
I don't know, he's gone now.
Oh, okay. I'll try to text him. Why, does anyone, well, we're having Misty come on briefly, but while we're waiting for Misty to come on.
Hi, Misty.
Oh, she's on already? Oh,
Yeah,
hi,
she's here.
Misty. Oh, I didn't see you. Oh, I gotta move my screen.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Good, thank you, thank you. Well, Misty's on. But really quickly before Misty begins, I wanted to, I'm one, I like to meet people where they're at. So JT, I'll text you on helping put together a protocol that addresses your needs. If anyone has anything personal that they're dealing with right now, if you can share that really quickly and make sure that we address those before Misty comes in. And you can also use chat. Russell? Yeah, Russell.
I just gave you back control, Danielle. You're the
okay.
host again, okay?
Okay, Russell, go ahead. You're on mute. Are you able-
Unmute. Oh, wow.
Okay,
I can be heard?
yeah.
Okay, okay. I wanted to ask about, like, my wife had a shoulder injury, and they said it caused nerve damage. So it really weakened her one arm down below her shoulder, all the way to the end of her hand, her fingers. It's almost like she's not really getting all circulation and strength. And she has a lot of pain off and on. It's been chronic for over 2 years now, going on 3 years. But she's got this pain that comes and goes. So, and it's pretty bad. So I was just wondering if, anything that could help remedy that.
Okay, thank you, Russell. I briefly and quickly, the two things with the nervous system, one is always going to be blood flow, and also a essential oil or even nutrition that can help restore that nervous system. Is she in pain as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So we can put together a protocol for blood flow, and for pain, the deep blue is really great for pain. And there's some other essential oils like cedarwood, peppermint, that can help with the blood flow. But also I want to have a deeper conversation with her on what's causing that.
Okay.
Yeah, on what's causing.
Yeah, we think it's some arthritis too, going in with that. Because when weather gets crazy, then she feels it more.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So I will definitely, I'm going to send you my calendar,
Okay.
and then we can schedule a conversation to have a deeper conversation. But just right off, right away, she can start with the deep blue for pain. Peppermint oregano is really also good for getting that blood flow going. And then I want to have a deeper conversation on what's causing that, and also helping us to support the nervous system.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm going to be in chat, I'm going to be looking at chat, and I want to put in my calendar for anyone to also schedule more time with me to go over specific needs and making sure that we have our stockpile for what we specifically need for our families, while we have the buying power, even with this hyperinflation.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put that in shortly. And then Misty, thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on mute and I am gonna hand it over to Misty. Thank you, Misty.
Absolutely. Do you have, did you allow me to share screen already?
Give me
Yes.
one
Yep.
second. Oh, you have it?
I do.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen just to start because I think that it is so much easier to understand what I'm talking about if you can see it. And it is so pretty. I have to share the pictures. So can you see my screen now with the towers?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Okay, so you can see on my screen, you'll see a tower garden. This is what primarily what I want to share with you all tonight. Tower gardens are hydroponic growing systems. You don't need any dirt. You don't need anything but water and then the nutrients that you can get right from the Juice Plus company, which is the company that sells these. So you have your seeds and some little pods, and you put your seeds in the pods, you put your nutrients in the water. You do a little quick pH balance to make sure you're not going to kill them, and then you let it grow. So it's kind of dummy proof, which is amazing. You don't have to have a green thumb. But a lot of people that like to grow and like to garden love these. So there's two options here. On the left, you'll see our home version, and that holds about 13 gallons of water in the basin. It has a bobber to tell you when the water is getting low, which is nice. And it has an automated system where you plug it into the wall and it waters itself. You don't have to do anything. So that part is amazing also. You can put this outside, but as you can see, it does have lights that you can get as well. And when you get those lights, you could grow the food on your tower in a closet, which is really cool if you wanted to. I grow mine in my dining room because it's pretty, it makes me happy, and people come in and go, oh my gosh, what is that? It's amazing. And then it's easy for me to pick my lettuces and my Swiss chard and my herbs, and then go straight to the kitchen. And back and forth when I need to. You can see that it is shaped a little bit differently than the tower on the right. It has 32 ports on it, and the ones on the top are for microgreens. I do my herbs up there. You can grow bigger things, but it's better for smaller things. This tower in particular is not the best for bigger items like zucchini, squash, even like tomatoes, things like that, because you can't get a cage to put on it. But I'll show you a solution to that in just a moment. But what this one is really good for is it doesn't take up very much space. It does fit through doorways, and it comes with wheels, which is really nice. So you can roll it around if you want to. And I have a family of 5, and I produce more than I need on this tower for my family of 5 for our salads and our herbs and stuff. So that part is pretty amazing. And then if you look at the one on the right, that one is called our Tower Garden Flex. And that's because it can go inside. It can also go outside. It's a little bit easier to grow stuff with this one on the outside. So if you want to put it on your porch or deck, you could do that. But you can also have it inside. You can purchase wheels for it if you'd like. You can purchase a cage for it. And that's why this one's nice for outside growing, because you can put zucchini and squash and like bigger items on there, and they can vine out and then onto your deck or onto your patio or wherever you're growing them. So that's really nice for that. And you can do it inside too. But once it grows away from the tower and away from the lights, it gets a little tricky. So you have to try to keep winding it back around. I prefer the Tower Garden home personally, and I do because I don't have to worry about bugs. I really like that. I don't even have to wash my plants. So every once in a while, I mean, you do have to look for bugs and make sure nothing comes in from outside, but in 4 years, I've had it happen one time. And so it's pretty easy in that way. The Tower Gardens also come with monthly payments for 12 months, and there's no interest or anything on it. So it's just 12 monthly payments if you want, or you can pay in full, but it's the same price. So I really love that about our company, that they spread the payments out for you. And you can see that here, $85 per month for 12 months, and that's without the lights. So that's pretty awesome too. I do want to share with you, well, one reason obviously that we're talking about this right now is because we can grow food in our houses, and that's huge, right? We all know that. So no one's going to know it's there. You can, like I said, put it in a closet if you really wanted to, and it would be, no one would know the difference. So that part's really, really awesome too. Let's see. Oh, so I did want to share with you another part of, and I'll come back to these. I'm going to answer questions because I know these have been, people have been buying these like crazy. We actually just ran out of lights because they've been selling like crazy. And they just today got the lights back in. So I'm super excited for anybody who wanted one. You could get your lights today too. They come in the mail in about, I don't know, maybe 5 days, 7 days ish. And then they're super easy to put together. My kids put ours together for us, which was great. And we started growing our stuff. So the other thing I did want to show you though, is the Juice Plus company has dehydrated food in capsules. We love having this. This makes me feel confident that no matter what, I'm going to have the nutrition my family needs moving forward. So I do really think this is a critical piece as well. So they dehydrate fruits and vegetables and berries and put them in capsules. They also have an omega blend, which is amazing. I'm going to scroll down here just a little so you can see them. There they are. If I zoom in, maybe you guys can see them a little better. There we go. So you can see the berry blend, the fruit blend, the vegetable blend, and the omega blend. So for around $108 a month, you can get all four for yourself. And you can also put one of your kids on the fruits and vegetables for free if you place any order at all. They come in a couple different variations. You can get the fruits and vegetables together. You can get the fruits, vegetables, and berries, or just the berries, or just the omegas, or all of it together. So we have our covered stockpiled with these as well. So I know that the nutrients that I need, I can get. So we've been taking these as well for about probably almost 5 years now. And we noticed a really big difference in a few different ways. One was energy levels, because we were getting the nutrition we needed. We weren't eating 8 to 10 servings of raw fruits and vegetables a day, even though we eat really healthy. So that's another reason that these are really, really nice, because you're filling that gap in between what you do eat and what we're supposed to eat. So that's really awesome there. So then the omega blend is really cool too, because it's omegas 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9, I believe. So it's a broad spectrum. It's not from fish. It's actually from seaweed, from kelps. So you're getting it from the source. Fish actually get their omegas from the seaweed. So we are actually getting it directly from the source and without that fishy burp taste. It has a little bit of an orange flavor to it, which I really like. Anyway, so these are all encapsulated and dehydrated. There's no sugar. The carbohydrates are removed, another key factor. So if you have diabetes or you know somebody that does, this is a great way to get that nutritional value with the fruits without the sugar. That's huge for our diabetics. So I wanted to share that with you too. That is an option, another thing that our company offers, and we do really see a ton of benefits health-wise with our patients at our practice. My husband's a chiropractor. So we've seen some amazing progress in their health with this, in reducing inflammation in particular, which is huge and is the cause of almost all disease. So, okay. I kind of went through fast. Sorry if I went too fast. I tend to talk quickly, but I would love to open it up for questions, because a lot of times we'll just learn a lot from each other and the questions we all have. So does anyone have any questions about the towers or the capsules or anything at all? Did I put everybody to sleep?
I don't have a question, but those are such beautiful pictures. It really, having an image in front of you and just hearing your presentation, it makes it real.
Yes, thank you. They are really pretty. They are plants too, and I like to make sure everybody understands that you are growing plants. So I have leaves that drop, on my floor, and I have to clean it sometimes, and that's okay because they are plants. But on the whole, it doesn't matter what my tower looks like. People will come in and go, "What is that? That is cool." So I'll tell you right now, I'm growing. I just replanted a bunch of my pods today. But I'm growing bell peppers. That's a perennial. I don't know if you guys know that. I didn't know that until I started growing indoors. So I get baby bell peppers and it continuously grows, right? So I just take care of it, and I plant propped up on my tower, but I grow those. I also grow Swiss chard, and that's also a perennial. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's like a weed. The same thing with my kale. I grow kale in there, and it just keeps growing and like extending its shoot. I also grow chives. They proliferate a lot too. So I have actually 3 ports of chives. I'm about ready to kick some of them out of the house because they're taken over. So those are some of the things that continuously are growing on my tower. But some of the things that I love the most are really my lettuces. So I grow probably 8 to 10 varieties of lettuce at all times, which is why I can't keep up with it probably. But I love the different varieties. I have ruby red. I have the bib lettuce, one of my favorites as well. Oak leaf, Samson, and is it Samson, sweet Samson, something like that. Anyway, I have a bunch of them, and I love growing them. I just do. It's really fun. You can also grow flowers on these. You can grow a lot of stuff. I have done flowers on here as well. So that's kind of cool too.
Does the tower have a sort of a lifespan, if you will?
You know, that's a good question. The tower is made out of PVC pipe material, so it'll last a long time. As far as a lifespan, I have not heard of anybody's breaking or malfunctioning. The one thing that I would say you could have maintenance on over time would just be the pump that's inside of it. So the roots grow. So what happens is the water's in the base, right? And then there's a piece in the middle that goes straight up to the top, and then it trickles the water back down, and there's a pump at the bottom that makes that happen. And so the roots grow down just like they would in the ground. And so you do have to clip your roots every once in a while. I do it when I add water. So every 2 weeks or so, I have to add, I don't know, 8-9 gallons of water. So when I do that, I just go in and I reach in and I just grab my roots and yank them, and they just pull them out. So they're not long in there anymore. And that helps to keep your motor from getting tangled with the roots and getting clogged, and it extends the life of it. I've had the motor on mine since I got it 4 years ago, and I've had no problems or issues. And then every once in a while, I've heard of somebody's like a light going out, one of their lights, but you can get those online super easy as well. So great question.
Good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Misty, me and my granddaughter put ours together the other day, and I've been trying to find the videos on that hose, the clear hose that comes in there.
Oh, I forgot to tell you about that. So there's a clear hose that comes with it, and the reason that comes with it is so you can empty it when you want to clean it. So when you're ready to clean your tower out, I do mine I do mine every December. So in December, I take all the plants out, I harvest everything. If I can save a few things, I leave them in the sink while I'm cleaning my tower with water in the basin. So like some of my perennial stuff, I'll try to save. And then what you do is your pump is on the bottom. So you unhook the hose that takes the water to the top of the tower, and you hook in the hose that they left you, the extra hose, the clear one. And that will then, you turn your pump on and it'll pump the water right out into the sink, because you'll put the other end in the sink or the tub or something like that.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
cool.
pretty slick, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. I had that same question when I got it. I'm like, I missed something.
I know, I was like, I am not taking this thing back down and putting it back together. It's gonna have to do without that hose. So yeah, no, that makes sense. Thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other thoughts or questions about any of that? Wonderful. Well, thank you guys all for coming tonight. I really appreciate your time, and seriously, at any time, DMC has my number, David has my number. You're welcome to reach out, ask me any questions you might have. I've been doing this for a while now, so I know quite a bit, and then I also have lots of resources I can connect you with. So that's actually another piece. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, Russ.
Hey, Misty. Hey, I got a question and a comment. I saw a video, and somebody mentioned that your tower garden lifespan is like 12 years or something like that. Like but here or there. But just a question. my kale hasn't came up. So does it take longer for the kale to come up?
That's a really good question. I think that is one of mine that takes longer. And so I think that if I'm not mistaken, my perennials take a little longer to come up. If you're growing strawberries, I've tried those on there. They did okay. They grew actually pretty quickly. And then I transport them outside because they weren't fruiting. So I put them outside and they took off. So it kind of skipped like a whole growing season by starting them in the tower. But yes, I believe that kale is one of those that takes off. So just give it a minute. You could also Google the germination time frame for kale, and it'll tell you. Actually, I have my packet out on my table because I was just planting my seeds. So let me walk you guys out there. I'll show you guys my tower too, since
Okay.
since
Yeah,
we're-
I'm just a rookie. I just started the starter pack.
Yeah, so they do give you, I'm gonna show you guys these. They give you starter packs. You get like 6 of them. Does that seem right, you guys? Probably like 6.
I think it is like 6.
Yeah, so kale says 65 days to maturity, but 14 days. Yeah, you need 2 weeks for that one. That's a longer one. Yep. Some of them will come up in days and then other ones take a lot longer. So that is one of them that takes a long time. So I'm going to turn around. You guys can see my tower. You can see the ports that I just planted are kind of empty there. Oops. And then you can see my bell peppers down here. I'm going to bring it over and show you one of my bell peppers. See that little guy? So he's growing well. I have dill over here. If you guys like dill, I love putting that on my salads. And then over here, you can see my Swiss chard. It's growing right here. These get really big. So I use these in my salads for an extra crunch. I also put them in my eggs for some greens in my eggs. And then there's my kale. And that's part of the, yeah, this one just keeps growing and growing. If you could see the stalk on it, it starts way up here. It comes down and it comes around here, and then it goes all the way around to here. So it's been growing a really long time. And what I do is I just keep picking the leaves off of the very end of it, and the top of it just keeps growing, and it's beautiful. Yeah. So, and then you can see my chives in the back there growing like crazy. So anyway, hopefully that gives you guys a good visual. And then there's something called vermiculite. That's this stuff right here. And that's what goes, you put your seed in the pod. And then once you put your seeds in there, you put a little bit of that on top of it. And that's like the growing medium. So it's like in replacement of like dirt. So let's see if I can get close enough. You can see there's one of my pods that I just planted. I'm trying to get the right angle. There we go. It's a little better. You can see my stuff. And then the other trick I will tell you guys is I put the name, I'm trying celery out. I've never planted celery, so you can see this one, but I put a piece of clear tape here and I put a little flap like folded over so I can peel it off when I want to. And I write with Sharpie on the tape what I'm growing, because once they start growing, you'll have no idea what they are. So that helps me to know what I liked from what I planted. And then also, what I'm picking, what I'm having for dinner that night. So that's one of my little tricks that I did. But
That is so cool. I'm really excited.
yeah, I can't wait for your stuff to start popping up. It's
Me
super fun.
either. I got hungry looking at yours.
Right. I also have tried and successfully grown some beans and green peas. So those, they don't grow like outside for me, but they do grow, and I do get vegetables from that, legumes technically, but yes. So I like those as well, especially in the winter for me in Michigan. I'm in Michigan, so I like having those when I can't grow them outside for sure. And for those, you'd put one seed. You're not going to put more than one seed in your rock wool pots. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure. And like I said, if anybody has questions, please feel free to reach out. Happy to have a conversation with you. DMC and I we were chatting quite a bit and going through everything and trying to figure out what made sense for her. So if you're not sure what works for you, or if this will work for you, or which tower to get, I can ask you some questions and it'll really help you figure out what makes the most sense. So.
Okay, and then, so everyone knows I will be putting, David's link in our group chat, and I am new, so Misty is available to help you.
I am. Yes, I am. So, yep, absolutely. So you can either, if you're with David, you can go through David to get yours. If you're with Danielle, you can go with hers. So either way, we'll get you guys hooked up, we'll get you going, and I tell you, you're gonna be talking to the town. You have your friends over, and they're gonna be like, "What? What is that? That's amazing." So I don't know about everybody else on the call, but I do garden. I do really like it. So I kind of miss having that fresh, that fresh crunch of my own food in the winter and the fall and the spring in Michigan. So we can't even plant yet. I think next week we're gonna have our last, or this week we had our last, hopefully 30-degree night. So we should be getting close to being able to get some plants in the ground. But anyway.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I have heard a few people saying that they can't plant yet, and this eliminates that have to wait to start planting because the ground is still cold. So,
Absolutely. Yep. And I even grow mine through the summer when I'm growing outside. And the reason is I really like the non-bug thing, right? So all my lettuces, I don't have to worry about the bugs getting on them and eating holes in them, and the rabbits coming up, because I have a lot of rabbits too. So, and some of you might have deer. So some of those plants, especially those green leafy ones, they really do like to clean them out from your garden if you don't have all the right things up, like fences. So that part's really nice too. And then I save my garden outside for things like tomatoes and potatoes and onions and things that they're not going to eat, which is good. So,
and that was another question someone had asked me. Once the plants start growing, does it attract its own bugs?
Inside?
Yeah.
No, no, you're not going to grow bugs. So here's the thing. If you get any kind of plant from outside of your home and you bring it in, or you have plants in your home that have aphids or some other kind of bug, then naturally your tower plants will get those too. So what I say is, if you don't have any bugs in your home yet, or any plants that have any kind of disease, it won't get on your tower either. There is a way to clean it, and you can still eat it if you do get aphids. You just have to wash it just like you would if it was outside, right? Which is totally fine. But no, the plants aren't gonna create their own bugs. The bug has to come from somewhere, a larva, an egg, something, right? So when you bring plants into your home, just keep them away from your tower. I had them in my living room. Oh, I told you, not my living room. I brought the one time I did get aphids, I had Thanksgiving in my home, and I went and got plants at the local greenery, and I brought them in and I put them as centerpieces on my dining room table, which is where my tower is in my dining room. They didn't touch each other, but they were close to each other, and that's all it took. So if you do bring plants in your house that are new, make sure, number one, they're clean, and number two, keep them away from your tower, just to try to save yourself the trouble. But I haven't had a problem since. So that was like just a lesson learned for me. So hopefully no one else has to go through that too. But the bugs have to come from a plant that's already got the disease, if that makes sense, or come in on you, or if you're out playing with a bunch of plants and working in your garden, and you come in and there's one on your sleeve and it falls into your tower, then yeah, you're gonna get bugs too. But that's not likely. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, that does help. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
No problem. There are some of the plants that I self-pollinate, which is kind of fun too. So you get to kind of play with your plants a little bit. But I like the bell peppers. Anything that gets a flower has to be pollinated by bees in order to make fruit or food, right? So all you do is you can take a Q-tip, or you can use a tip of your finger, and you just touch each flower, and you go around and touch the flowers, and then they pollinate themselves. after that. So then, and sometimes you can just shake the plants a little bit, like just put your hand in there and shake it like you would like your hair, and the pollens will move around. Sometimes that's enough too. So most things you don't have to do that, but for like bell peppers you do. And if you were to try to grow, I'm trying to think of another one. I did try cucumbers for a minute. Other people have success with those. I did not. And it might just be, it doesn't like my water or my pH balance or my pH level. But you would have to do that for those because they flower in order to germinate. So, but almost everything else I have on there, I don't have to do that. Pea pods, you would have to do that too. But all the lettuces and everything else I showed you, except for the bell peppers, are you plant them and walk away. So it's pretty simple.
That's good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. And like I said, I do have a lot of resources. So there is a whole Facebook group called Tower to Table, Table to Tower, something like that. Do you remember? I think it's Tower to Table. Yeah. And it's a whole group of tower growers. There's like a ton of people in this group. So if anyone has had a question in the past, or if you have a question, they likely had the question already and had it answered. So you can just search in that group for your question, and then a lot of things just usually pop up and you can read the comments and get your answers. I really like that. And then people put ideas on there, like the little tape idea. You can find ideas like, like that for growing on there if you want to. So you can get as involved in it as you want, or just grow your own stuff and figure it out, as you go, and what you like and what to plant where. And that was, just something I figured out on my own. What did I like? What did I want more of? So fun stuff. I liked it. But I do like to plant and grow too, but I know people that don't. And this is a little bit easier than having a garden, because you don't have to weed anything and you don't have to worry about the bugs and the critters and the dirt and all that. So
yeah, that's what the selling points were for me. That one, self-watering right off the bat, that was the huge selling point for me, that it was self-watering. Two, with the fertilizer prices, it gave me another alternative other than soil planting.
Yep.
And three was definitely the support of learning how to plant in a group, and not having to worry about the bugs.
Definitely a benefit.
Yeah, but the self-watering and an alternative to growing out, not in soil, because I do some soil planting too. And I did have a successful garden in my yard in soil a couple of years ago with lima beans, black eyed peas. Yeah, I did really good with the lima beans, black eyed peas, kale, snap peas. I did really, really good. But, listening to David share how, you don't want to invite unwanted people to your front lawn when they know you have food. So, and then the self-watering was, did I say self-watering was a selling point?
Actually, mine's watering itself right now. So I don't know, can you guys hear it?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
So it's almost like a little bit like a waterfall in your house. And that's kind of nice too. So if you like that soothing sound of water, that part's really nice too. So I also, not only in the winter do I get my greens to look at, and it's pretty, but I also get the little waterfall effect. So if you close your eyes, you can kind of picture imagine you're somewhere else than in snowy Michigan.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear mine. I'm still, I'm just now starting, but I do love the sound of waterfall.
Oh, good. All right, if nobody else has any questions, did you get that in there in the chat for them?
You know what, Misty, I have two different groups on, so I'm going to put it in the text group for them so that they don't get confused.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. And
Much.
you're welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure. You guys all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Marilyn and Jamila. This will be on record, So if anyone needs to watch the replay, listen to the replay, just let me know. What I also want to say before we end is with the government eventually telling us who is and who isn't essential, there's business opportunity for us to earn income from home with both the essential oils and the Tower Gardens. So, and we want to help others help their families. Okay, because it's not going to be pretty when they can't get food, and it's not going to be cool when they're sick and or having issues, health issues that they can't address and or can't get nutrition. You know, so having nutrition like with the Juice Plus items is going to be really, really, really helpful. Okay, so I want to thank everyone. Love everyone. I'll talk to everyone soon. Oh, wait, let me answer chat first. Okay, thanks, Jamila. Thanks, Russell. Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.